Welcome back, YouTube, to a brand new movie review. Continuing on with my Halloween series of reviews, we're going to be looking at Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Please bear with me for this review. I'm sick. I'm super sick. Trying to get these reviews done as best I can, so bear with me for this one and I'll do my best. Halloween 4 was released in 1988 and directed by Dwight H. Little, who had very little knowledge of the Halloween films going into this film. But nevertheless, he established the opening scene and credits of this film with some beautiful takes of imagery of things like scarecrows and pumpkins and just things to make you think of the Halloween fall season were established in the very opening scenes of this film. Once again, we have Dr. Loomis, played by Donald Pleasence. George P. Wilbur plays Michael Myers in this film, and although the mask and suit isn't that great in this film, in my honest opinion, he does a pretty damn good job of Michael Myers. We also have not Jamie Lee Curtis, but Jamie Lloyd, played by actress Danielle Harris. Haha, want to touch the hiney. Danielle Harris is my favorite Scream Queen. This is her very first feature film role, and I think she absolutely nails her performance as Jamie Lloyd. After the opening credits, we are brought to the insane asylum where Michael Myers is currently being kept to, and is being transferred back to Smith's Grove. Michael Myers overhears the fact that he has a niece in Haddonfield. So what does he do 10 years after the events of the first film? He breaks out and goes back to Haddonfield to kill his niece. Laurie Strode and the husband that we didn't actually get to figure out who it was died in a car crash, so Jamie Lloyd had to go live with her foster parents, who are actually her cousins and aunt and uncle, due to the fact that her parents died. We have actress Ellie Cornell playing Rachel, the foster sister to Jamie Lloyd. Rachel is more or less the main Scream Queen of this film. Yes, Jamie Lloyd, or Danielle Harris's character, is technically supposed to be it. I think Rachel has a more on-screen presence, probably due to the fact that she's acted and she's more well-veteraned in acting itself. Also, her part kind of deals with a lot more than what Jamie has going on. One thing I really admire about Halloween 4 is the relationship between Rachel and Jamie. That relationship feels genuine, it feels real. Almost like that these are actual real sisters, but in fact are just actresses playing the role. Unlike in a lot of past Halloween films, there's actually some comedic relief in this film. There's a scene where Dr. Loomis gets picked up by a pilgrim, and the two kind of have a conversation about good and evil and bad and right and wrong and all that kind of stuff, and he finds out that, you know, Dr. Loomis isn't so different from this crazy pilgrim dude. Another thing I really enjoy about this film is Michael Myers is actually really smart in this film. Very methodical. Not only does he take out the telephone lines in the town, the electrical wiring in the town, he blows up the transformers so no one has power, he takes out the police station, he doesn't really have any adversaries to mess with by the time he's ready to wreak havoc on Haddonfield. In doing so, a lynch mob forms of a bunch of local hunters and drunks at a local bar. Once again, have a little bit of a comedic role where they think they see Myers in a bush and they kills him. It ends up being a dude named Ted Hollister, and it's a very, very funny scene in my opinion that I don't think was supposed to be taken funny, but I always found it one of the funniest scenes in all the Halloween films. You son of a bitch, you said it was Myers. Sheriff Brackett is no longer in Haddonfield. He moved away after 1981, so it says in the film, and he's replaced by Sheriff Meeker, who has a daughter named Kelly, who is in a love triangle with Rachel and her kind of boyfriend Brady, and the three of them have this kind of weird situation on the go where Brady was supposed to hang out with Rachel on Halloween night, and he didn't, and now he's hanging out with Kelly and trying to screw her, and it doesn't really fit into the story, but it makes for some pretty interesting story lead-ups inside the Meeker house, which was actually kind of cool, especially the death scenes. My biggest negative of this film is the whole school scene. Dr. Loomis takes Jamie Lloyd to get away from Myers after all the events throughout the film. He tries to hide in the school for some reason and bait Michael out, which doesn't really give us an effect of anything. It's just kind of like a filler scene, and I really did enjoy it. Towards the end of the film, the lynch mob take Jamie and Rachel, the only two survivors of this night, except for Dr. Loomis. You know, and they're driving to the town, and the cavalry shows up, a whole bunch of other police enforcement coming in from another town to help out Haddonfield. And lo and behold, Michael is hiding under that truck, and it leads to some really bloody, gory fun that really fit well for this film. And the absolute best part about this film is that ending. We see Jamie Lloyd, she's kind of turned now after the events of killing Michael. She kind of took up the mantle of her uncle, and she tries to kill her mother, and it's a very great scene. You can see it on my shirt here. You know, we see that the lingering no from Dr. Loomis right at the end of the film. No! No! You know, and Jamie Lloyd standing at the top of the stairs just with the scissors and a clown costume. Very reminiscent of young Michael in the very first Halloween. Overall, Halloween 4 is one of the best sequels in the Halloween franchise, in my honest opinion. It establishes a very atmospheric film from the very beginning. The great shots of the fall and autumn and Halloween time. Builds on a mythos and story of Michael Myers and now his niece, which is a very cool take on an already kind of saturated story after the first two films. Donald Pleasance and a young Danielle Harris and Ellie Cornell all give great performances in this film. I think the film is a lot more thought out than previous Halloween films. Michael's a lot smarter. His costume's not that great. A big negative for me is the mask. It's not that great. The coveralls aren't that great either, but the whole build-up of Michael escaping, coming back to Haddonfield, Dr. Loomis chasing him back to Haddonfield, very reminiscent of the first two. Laurie Strode having a daughter, and actually, you know, she died in a car crash. Now her daughter's her successor, and Michael's going after her. It's a very, very cool story. The film is a very fun Halloween film. It does have some scary moments. Very atmospheric. It's one of the only Halloween films where you actually get to see multiple shots of kids going up and down the rows of houses trick-or-treating. And overall, although it doesn't really use the original Halloween score, it does technically use the main theme of Halloween and or the shaved stocks in a mixed blend kind of style of themes throughout the film, which in my opinion work for this film. I'm going to give Halloween 4 The Return of Michael Myers an 8.5 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it is a great sequel to the Halloween franchise. I guess you can say the next one in the series, it's where it starts to dip in quality, but I really think Halloween 1, 2, 4, and H2O are really the best in the series of the Michael Myers franchise, and I absolutely love Halloween 4. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this review. I'm sorry if I sound really weird. I'm sick and I'm trying to get through this as best I can. And as always, take care and stay frosty. Happy October.